Just wanted to shoot this quick video here to show you the upgrade I did for the stabilizers on my Wolf Pup. So what we're looking at here, these are the 4 stabilizers that came from the factory on the Wolf Pup. These are extremely light. I don't know exactly what weight they're supposed to support. That's the model number. I tried to look up that model number and I could not find what the actual weight was. My assumption is it says 2,500, so my guess is 2,500 pounds per. But that's just a guess. I don't know. Like I said, I was not able to actually find this model number online to verify that. But that's my guess. Whether it's right or not, I don't know. In any case, I upgraded those with these Hallmaster 2.5 ton RV scissor stabilizers that you see there. So I bought 4 of those from Harbor Freight. They were $40 a piece. Each one comes with the crank here. So I now have 5 cranks, so 4 with the ones that I purchased here, in addition to the one that came with the Wolf Pup. Don't need 5 of them, but I've got some extras here now. And obviously you can use your drill if you have the appropriate socket there to wind it down, crank it down. Now these that I took off here, they are hooked on to the frame using a single bolt. It's not the bolt does not have a lock washer. It's just, lock nut. Just has a regular nut. And there are so it's attached in 4 points. So one of them is using the bolt here, and then in the other 3 holes here. So there's 8 in total, but it's only attached using 4. These 2 here kind of actually go up into the I-beam portion of the frame. So those weren't used. This attaches to a little lip that's on the frame itself. So that's why they attach there. So these were just attached with these self-tapping screws. In replacing them, I also used self-tapping screws. So I went and purchased some here. So this is what I got. So these are number 14 by 1 inch, and they are the same that I took off from the factory stabilizers. Now I didn't, in putting the new ones on, I did not use the bolt. I'm just using 4 of the self-tapping screws, and I'm using these outside holes here. I'm not using the holes here on the side because, again, it would go up into the I-beam portion of the frame, so I didn't want to mess with that. So those are what I took off. Let me show you one of them here that I put on. All right, so this is one of the stabilizers there that I purchased from Harbor Freight. So as you can see, 2.5 ton. And if we look here, so you can see I've got the self-tapping screws there. Now what I did that the factory ones did not have is I also put a washer underneath there. And that's because the self-tapping screws that the instructions for this recommends you use, which are the ones that I purchased, along with the factory self-tapping screws, are pretty much, they're just slightly larger than the hole for the screw to go through. So I wanted to put a washer on those as well to kind of help spread out that force a little bit. So each one is attached with 4 self-tapping screws. They are very sturdy, not coming off, and these are much heavier duty than the ones that I took off. In total, these weigh about 7.5 pounds more than the factory ones. So with the 4 on here, it adds about 30 pounds to the trailer, which, right, we never weigh our trailer down entirely, so I'm not too concerned about the extra 30 pounds. But if you come really close to the max weight for your trailer, once you've got it loaded up, once you've got water in there, if you transport water, we don't transport water, so that's not a concern for me. Again, this does add 30 pounds, so just take note of that. Sorry, all 4 of these together will add 30 pounds. They're about 7.5 pounds a piece. But yeah, it's much heavier duty. I was able to test it out here just by getting inside my trailer, and I was able to notice the difference quite a bit. So if you're interested in replacing your factory stabilizers, the only thing you'll need are the self-tapping screws. Again, I used washers, so you could pick up some washers. And you will need a bit because these do not line up with the factory holes. So in taking off the factory stabilizers, there are 4 holes, but these did not line up with that. So you'll also need a drill bit. So I use a drill bit as a starter, and then obviously the self-tapping screws will go the rest of the way in there. And yeah, so I think that's it. I think, so overall, again, these were $40 a piece. So, you know, about $160 for all 4. I also purchased the 1-year replacement for each one of these. I figured at $5 a piece, that was worth it to me. I know it says not to lift. Again, this is just a stabilizer, but because this is a 2.5 ton stabilizer, and the trailer weighs nowhere near that, if this thing got a flat, I wouldn't be afraid to use this to actually jack it up out on the road to replace this tire. So yeah, so there it is. Again, it was about $160 for the 4 of these, and then I bought the 1-year replacement plan for each. So that plus tax, it came out to about $190 for all 4 of these. So, and they went out pretty quick. I did break a couple of drill bits because some of mine were dull. So just kind of keep that in mind as you think about replacing these. You might want to have a couple of drill bits on hand. But yeah, overall, very simple mod to do.